Christian Geek Central is doing Extra Life again this year to raise funds for children in urgent need of medical care. You can help us out and get some fun rewards at the same time. Stick around after the video for more details. Pre-show music, this is the pre-show music. Pre-show music playing strong, pre-show music playing long. This is the pre-show music, so you can relax and have a good time while you wait for pictures to appear. Pre-show music, it's the best thing in the world. Pre-show music, tell me what rhymes with world. Pre-show music here. Everybody sing pre-show music. This is the pre-show music. Pre-show music playing strong. Pre-show music playing long. This is the pre-show music, so you can relax and have a good time while you wait for pictures to appear. Pre-show music, it's the best thing in the world. Pre-show music, tell me what rhymes with world. Pre-show music here. Hey! Alright. Enough of that silliness. Where do we get these? There we go. Hey! How we doing? Hi, Joseph. Thank you very much. Yeah, 1,000 subscribers. I was kind of watching how things were going, and oh man, are we getting dropped frames again already? What the crap? Let me know what the picture quality is like for you. That is not what I like to see. This is the first stream that I've done since Extra Life. And Extra Life went really south, and ultimately I had to shut down the stream just because of the poor quality. It was like watching a slideshow. So yeah, holy cow! There's a ton of frames being dropped here. Hey, Reed, how you doing? And I'd done a live stream prior to that, a couple actually, since moving into this house. Where we didn't have any problems, and then for some reason with Extra Life, and we haven't been noticing any internet outages. But I had heard on the day of Extra Life, when I called our internet service provider, that there were some outages in our area. So, gosh, I didn't have any reason to think that there'd be problems tonight, but maybe there's something going on. I don't know. Are you guys seeing like a lot of dropped frames, like a lot of just kind of like stuttering and stuff in the picture? Hi, Brad. Thanks for coming. This is weird because I'm not playing video games. Oh, Reed says you're getting some dropped frames. Like a lot. Is it really bad? Hey, Arch Saint. Thanks for coming. But the sound is clear. Oh man, that really stinks. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot that. I'm thinking that there was like an internet plan we were thinking of switching to, that would have been, there was like, we had a service that was like the tier was no longer being offered anymore. So the next time we made a change, it was either going to have to be a little bit of an upgrade or a little bit of a downgrade. And we might have gone with the downgrade to kind of test it out. And if that's what's causing this, then we might have to go back to the old, to the next tier up or something. I don't know. That really sucks. Well, anyway, I'm at least recording this on my end so that I can chop it up later. Yeah, Reed Benson says I got a second of video clarity, then some clipping. Man, that really sucks. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm glad you can at least hear me. Anyway, yeah, I'll if this thing persists as it looks like it's going to, then I will definitely look into our internet service tier and see if improving that would change things at all. You're on a VPN, so you kind of expect glitches from time to time. Okay, I guess that's good to know. Anybody else having like frame rate issues? I mean, it's showing me that like there's been like over 3,000 dropped frames so far. So it doesn't seem to be doing very well, and I'm getting a red flashing thing. Man, that's terrible. Get a new house, and you got to relearn everything, and figure out what its strengths and weaknesses are. Sorry, Rugged Warrior, you did miss the pre-show music. Yeah, I started it when my clock said 7:50. Well, I'm on Arizona time, so I'm starting this at 8 o'clock Arizona time, even though 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. But anyway, at like 1 minute till is when I started the pre-show music song. All right. Yeah, sorry, Brad. I'm sorry it's choppy. I will definitely look into it after this stream and see if maybe there's something that we can do on our end. Let's see here. Hey, Francisco. Here, but can only listen for a bit. Hey, I appreciate you being here at all, so thanks for coming out. Brad Triem asks, how's the new place? I'm probably talking way too loud. I've got my mic turned up all the way. How's my volume? Is this a better speaking volume? Get ready to do a little bit of painting. Let me do that. Okay, that's not too bad. Point this down just a tad, and I can kick back a little bit. Yeah, we're really happy with it. It really... Oh, I'm still kind of like off-center. That's going to bother me. Let's see. Let's go this way. Is that the cord pulling on it? All right, that's better, I guess. Yeah, it's not far from where our last house was. Maybe just, I don't know, like 5 or 10 minutes or something. And it just suits our needs a lot better. I've been... The office space is definitely bigger. Almost... I want to say almost by half compared to my last office, and that's made it really nice for setting up. Like you can't see it. Maybe I'll just kind of show you guys what my office space looks like. So, just off to my right. Oops, my gosh, this is going to be terrible. But off to my right are the windows, and that's the front of our house that I'd be looking out to, like out to the front street. This is the first floor of our house, and then I've got some lights right there on a stand, and there's my computer. So this is closer to like what my view is when I'm recording and stuff from here. And let's see here. On the other side of the computer is the rest of the office. So I've got a light over there on a stand, and then you can see this big long table that goes all the way down to the door. I've got 2 TV screens here, and the second one is mostly for like my boys if they want to come in on the weekends and play video games, in here, and we'll just kind of just hang out in here together. And then you can't really see it from here. Way over there is Mage Night. You see that little that orange box with the white inside, the orange lid. That's Mage Night. I'm right now thinking about doing a very short Mage Night board game playing series. But anyway, having this nice long table is really nice because then I can just move the camera down the table to a different spot depending on what kind of content I'm recording, and then. That's my like emergency napping setup. Those are cushions from a couch in our old house that we were retiring, and then like a camping pillow. And I find that when I'm tired, it's like it takes me a while to fall asleep. It's really weird. I get in my bed and I lay down and. At night, and my mind is still swimming with thoughts. It takes me forever to kind of just slow down my mind and stuff. And so I find that when I'm working, focusing on something, and it makes me feel really tired, I gotta like strike while the iron's hot. And so otherwise, if I go change into my PJs or go get take my shoes off and get into my bed and try to take a nap in there or something like that, I'm all woken up by the process of doing that. And so having this here just allows me to just turn around, take 2 steps, and collapse and have a little micro nap that'll kind of give me a second wind. But anyway, let me get this back on here. I'm missing some chat with you guys, and you probably can't see anything anyway. For all the people that have just joined the chat, just in case you're just now tuning in, there are some problems with the frame rate, lots of frames getting dropped, and I apologize for that. It is helping me narrow down what the potential problem is. So hopefully by the next time I do a stream, it won't be an issue anymore. Let's see here. Rugged Warrior asks, when you do your movie review, do you have a notepad and pen to take notes? No, what I do is, let me see if I can actually jump over. I should have prepped this before, but if I go to desktop, show you guys my desktop view, and then can I keep my, oh wait, no, that's not going to let me do that. So I can't keep my face in there. I didn't plan ahead for this. But, so I've got this, where's my, so I don't want to open up my websites and logins. You'll see my record of those. I probably shouldn't even be keeping track of those digitally. Where do I keep that? Oh yeah, under video editing and then production docs. Okay, so here's my review script. This is, I just pull this up and I have like, I keep this really minimized or like kind of smaller like this and off to the right because then it's closer to where the camera is behind my my screen, and so as I'm focusing my attention to the right of my screen, I'm closer to looking straight onto my camera. So yeah, this ought to look familiar. Hi, I'm Paeter Franson from christiangeekcentral, blah, 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 blah. And then I change this, like I just reviewed Revolt today, and then I update these categories of like the synopsis, and then the story script, pacing, and tone, and then the cast performances, which this is a reminder to get my sign out. Sometimes I use my sign, sometimes I don't, that has a little picture of a stick figure and it says actor image here. And then let's talk about stunts and visuals. I don't always talk about music and sound, so I keep that in parentheses. And then relevance, which is more like the philosophical type stuff. And then, the wrap up, what I say to yesterday's Paeter if I was a time traveler, and then just kind of like the closing up, the usual stuff that I say there. So that is what I do. I open that up on my desktop, and let's see here. Oh, oops. No, don't do that, Paeter. Don't do that. I clicked a different setting. It's going to try and go to my Neverwinter Nights setting. Oh my gosh. Please don't do that! Don't do that. Okay, sorry guys if I kind of went away for a second there. I accidentally clicked a different setting. Let's go to... Here we go. Alright. So anyway, that's how I kind of go about doing that. Let me move actually the chat over here so that I am closer to looking at the camera as I look at the chat. Iken Studio says, hey, I'm new to your channel and it's great. Thank you very much. What does IKEN stand for? Let's see here. Brad Trium says, do it, Mage Knight! I would like to. Mr. Beakhead, hey, is that you, Dylan? I'll bet it is. It has been too long. We got to get something on the books. Are you guys are in the new locale? Yes, we are. This is my new office, which I'm really liking, and the rooms that are available in the house are much better for just kind of our family needs and stuff, and the preferences and stuff. So yeah, it's going really well. Jaron Belboda says, Paeter, congratulations on 1,000 subs. Thank you very much. Oh, it's Jaron, isn't it? I think it's Jaron. Let's see here. Archsaint says, how well do those soundproof panels work? I don't use them for soundproofing, like to keep sound out, in other words. I just use the paneling, which if you can see, if the frame rate's not too bad, there's some that I just put up recently across there, but most of it is on the wall directly behind my computer, so that as little as possible, since I'm so close to this wall, I'm avoiding as much as possible the sound bouncing right off of that wall and coming back and hearing or it being picked up by the mic. And I'm pretty happy with them so far. It's I'm in this big rectangular box, and the carpeting is very thin too. This was kind of like intended to be like a rec room. It used to be part of the garage, but the previous owners, either like as an option when the house was built, or they changed it later, made it into kind of like this rec room. So instead of a 3-car garage, it's a 2-car garage with this space in here. So it has kind of like a 1-car garage shape to it a little bit. So it's a big flat box, and so yeah, I still want to add more sound paneling. With the money that we have now to spend on that kind of thing, I had to stop at this point, but it's good enough for the recording that I need to do right now. It's certainly good enough for like YouTube and stuff, and with the audio production stuff that I'm working on right now, I did some recent tests, and I think it'll be good for now. I might have to get creative now and then with cushions or sheets if I really want to do a lot of shouting in something that I'm recording, like, as in audio drama. But sorry, my camera bounces every time I mess with my mouse. Here's another thing I do whenever I record. I get this little extra tray table out and prop it up next. Every time I do an Uncut review, I put this little tray table here and I pull my mouse out so that it's not connected to the desk that my camera is balanced precariously on. Let's see here. Breed Benson says, I'm currently watching this and texting my sister about Gilmore Girls at the same time. My wife Holly watched Gilmore Girls. I think, are they doing like a Netflix limited reboot of that or something? I'm trying to, for some reason that thought is entering my head. I don't know if that's real or if I made that up, but yeah, those scripts I hear are like super huge, because if you watch just a little bit of that show, they talk like I'm talking. They're just like, the pacing is so fast and they're saying so much. It's like if you remember the Kathy, I don't know if the Kathy comic strips are printed anymore, but those panels are just filled with dialogue, and that's what it reminds me of. It's like the TV equivalent of a Kathy comic strip. Rugged Warrior, so Revolt wasn't revolting. No, and I even thought about doing kind of like a play on that or something in the title for the YouTube channel, but I just, didn't have time and energy to get creative with that. So I usually try to put 2 titles for those YouTube reviews, like name of movie or blah 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 blah, which is usually related to like the philosophical side of things or whatever kind of like the messaging or theming, that pops out to me is. But I didn't do it this time. There was almost nothing there that jumped out at me, but yeah, it wasn't like this bad movie. Like right before Christmas, I reviewed I think maybe 2 or 3 just kind of like Redbox movies that either had a limited theatrical release or were direct to video, at least in the United States, and those were pretty disappointing. This one I think had far fewer things that were disappointing or a letdown or weird or whatever to me. This was a more solid experience than those. Reed Benson says, I see you're in a sweatshirt. How's the weather in Arizona? It's a little bit cold. This is probably the coldest time of year for Arizona. I'm actually in this because I might be getting sick. I'm not sure. I asked my wife if she was feeling cold today, and we've both had this weird bug. We know it's some kind of bug going through our house and our bodies. And it's like it doesn't want to commit to making us sick. It's like, hey, your stomach's going to feel not quite right, and you might think it's nausea. Maybe it is. We'll see. Maybe it'll become that. For now, it's just going to feel not quite on. And so there's always been like for the last week, almost every day, there's been like a part of the day where it's like something's not right, and today I noticed I was feeling and yesterday I was feeling a little bit like cold, and sometimes that can indicate the onset of a fever. Like I'm not feverish yet, but I'm like not right, and things are starting to feel colder than they should, and I'll hit it. So I might run into a fever tonight or something, or who knows? I don't know. I Can Studio says it's just interesting. It's a nickname. Okay. Is it like I can do that? I Can Studios. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see here. Francisco Ruiz says, everything about doing another Spirit Blade story, like focusing on a character you wish you could have explored more. Have I ever thought about that? For those who are here and don't know what he's talking about, because you're just here to, because of the YouTube content is, kind of what you associate me with. Christian Geek Central and this YouTube channel are kind of like a product of a parent entity that I launched in 2006 called Spirit Blade Productions, which initially was intended to really just be focused on producing audio drama, audio fiction, audio entertainment, and stuff. And so the Spirit Blade trilogy, which I usually plug into some kind of a bumper or promo, something like that, and I've talked about a few times on this channel, is the main audio drama series that I've worked on over the years. So have I ever thought about doing another Spirit Blade story, like focusing on a character you wish you could have explored more? Because the trilogy is complete, for those who don't know. The final part of the trilogy was released almost a year and a half ago now, which is kind of crazy to think about. Or Reed Benson says, yeah, a Spirit Blade spinoff. Never say never. I think I'm done with the Spirit Blade universe. You know, I've thought to myself, what would be more likely is that I would come back to that universe and fast forward a number of years, where Merrick is older, the main character, which is the character I play in that trilogy. He's older, and he's serving kind of in like the Isaiah type role that Isaiah served in the first one. And he's serving kind of like in that mentor role to some, new hero, or he is, or it would be an ensemble cast again, and he would just be like an older character, but would have less focus on him or something like that. I don't know. I don't see myself going back to the Spirit Blade universe, but if I did, it might be something like that. Hey, John Wilkerson, good to see you, or your little avatar picture image here. What do you call that? The if it's not avatar, it's something else. I don't know, your icon. Anyway, oh my gosh, Reed, it's negative 14 degrees Celsius there. What's that in Fahrenheit? And you're in China. Wow. Let's see here. Rugged Warrior says, is Arizona cold like California cold, where 50 is cold? I don't know. I mean, let's see. I'm bad with remembering numbers, and so I couldn't tell you exactly like what the temperatures have been like. I think probably usually the highs are in the 70s, maybe as low as 60 for a high. And I think the lows, maybe at night or really early in the morning, would be dipped down into the 30s. So I mean, when I'm out in the mid-morning, or mostly in the morning when I'm like jogging around the neighborhood, maybe it's around 40 or 50 or something like that in the last week or so. But I still wear shorts most of the year. I think I guess I haven't quite adapted. Like, people that have lived in Arizona all their lives, or most Arizonans, I feel like as soon as it gets cold enough to justify wearing pants, they're wearing pants, And I mean, I've lived here since I started 4th grade. But I think I've always, still worn shorts as much as I can throughout the year. So, Icon Studio says, yeah, it's just my nickname with the letter N added to it. Oh, okay, so like your nickname is Ike. Okay, cool. Reed Benson says, I'm excited for more Pilgrim's Progress, if that's still happening. I'm going to be announcing what's going on and giving a big update on the audio production side of things. Look for that, like it'll be after Valentine's Day. 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna do a video game live stream that I haven't announced yet. I wanted to spend my time really kind of promoting this, but 2 weeks from now, I'm gonna do a video game live stream. I think it's gonna be themed around video games that I'm in love with, just to force some Valentine's-related theme onto it. And then maybe the weekend after that, or 2 weeks following that, I'll have a big announcement, big update on what's going on the audio production side of things. So stay tuned for that. John Wilkerson says, minus 7 degrees Celsius here now. It was about minus 14 degrees Celsius. Help me out, guys. I'm not good with the Celsius. That's probably where the world is going. But okay, Reed Benson, thank you, says negative 14 degrees Celsius is 6.8 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold. That is cold. Jaron Belboda says, doing anything with Pilgrim's Progress lately? I'm going to hold off all audio drama-related updates until the big update in the middle of February. But I'm glad you're still interested. Let's hear. Galactic Genesis. Hi, Galactic Genesis. That username's not familiar to me. I don't know if this is your first time here, but thanks for coming out and jumping in. That's cold here as well. Is that what you mean by that sentence? Where are you at, Galactic Genesis? Um, let's see here. So I got even though this is like just a short stream, just 1 hour, and the reason I did that was because, one, I wanted to like make it a thing where I was giving you guys my full attention, and that didn't sound like something like I would want to do, that I would want to do for 6 hours, or that people would want to like just talk to me for 6 hours straight, rather than kind of tune in now and then while I'm doing a video game stream or something. So, and I was also kind of hoping to concentrate as many people as possible. It's like, okay, 1 hour, that's it, and get as many people as possible into the chat. So, so thank you all for coming out. I do have my traditional streaming treats, as I've mentioned at the beginning of many of my live streams. I do always get just a little bit nervy before every live stream, because you never know how the internet's gonna treat you. Thankfully, y'all are such nice people. But yeah, so that usually consists of potato chips, just like regular potato chips. And these are the great value. This is the Walmart brand. Usually I get like the Fry's Kroger brand, which I think I like better. I put this in my mouth today. I was like, this is not as satisfying. I've already eaten most of the bag because instead of going to a movie this morning, I rented a movie, but I was still like, I still want a treat. I've gotten so used to treating myself to popcorn, getting on the frequent view watchers club or whatever that our movie theater has, and so I get a free medium popcorn every time. Anyway, and then the other traditional thing is a Quick Trip donut. Quick Trip is a local, well, it's a chain all over the place. In fact, Reed Benson said last, I think during Extra Life, you used to work at a Quick Trip, which is crazy. But anyway, I'm going to dip into that a little bit. Galactic Genesis says, I am in North Carolina. Holy crap, seriously. Okay, I'm going to put my donut down for a second. I have good associations with North Carolina. My wife, Holly, born and raised in Pennsylvania, went to college at Pitt, and then she moved to North Carolina. She was actually, all of her family kind of stayed in the Pennsylvania area and pretty close to the town, the small town they all grew up in. She was kind of the black sheep that moved after graduating to North Carolina. She just kind of felt like going out and being on her own somewhere else. And so when we were dating, we dated long distance for a year before we got married. We met on this, I've told the story before, it's on the YouTube channel somewhere, but we met on this kind of like this tour where people are gathered from different parts of the U.S. and then you go on this ministry tour together. Anyway, after that meeting on that tour, we dated long distance for a year, and she was living in North Carolina, and so lots of flights back and forth. Rugged Warrior says, what video games are you looking forward to? Gosh, more than I can... let me see here. Let's see. Will this mess things up if I do this? Let me try something here. I hope this doesn't like destroy the stream. Oh, webcam is in use. Okay, it's not gonna won't let me do that. I want to keep it picture in picture. I wanted to keep it picture in picture. I might not be able to do that. Let me pull up my document. So this is a document called, let me get the desktop in view now. This is a document called Upcoming Content Outline, so you guys can get a sneak peek at least at this point, what my plans are for the coming weeks. And I also put on here things that games that I'm planning on reviewing, and which are usually games that I'm interested in. So I do right now have on my agenda to rent Monster Hunter on Monday, and not forget to see the dentist. I have a dentist appointment. So Monster Hunter, let's see here. Some of that I actually can't show right now. If you snuck a peek, you might have hints of what's coming. There's actually some stuff on there that I wasn't ready to talk about yet. But anyway, you can go back in the stream and try to figure out what some of those cryptic things are in there. But to answer your question, Far Cry 5, definitely looking forward to. I think that I have a really good chance of enjoying that. What else? I think Spider-Man. I mean, I put at the end of this video that I did on the best games of 2017, quote unquote best games of 2017. At the very end, I listed off a bunch of games, a group that I was curious about, and then also a group that I am genuinely excited about that I think I have a really good chance of liking. I think Days Gone I have a good chance of liking. I am hoping Spider-Man I have a good chance of liking. It's an open world game. So yeah, there's a big old list there. I can't quite bring it to mind right now, but let's see here. Galactic Genesis says I was at your 24-hour stream from time to time. Okay, cool. Let's see here. You want chips now, Reed? Sorry. John, you saw Jumanji tonight, the new one. I'm getting caught up here. Did you like it, John? Says Reed. You missed the North Carolina story, Galactic Genesis. Yeah, I was just saying that my wife lived in North Carolina for a year. Well, for more than a year, but for the year that we dated long distance, she was living in North Carolina. And so I have lots of good memories associated with North Carolina, her flying out here to visit me flying out there to visit her. So yeah. John says, I didn't think I'd like it, but I found myself laughing quite a bit. Yeah, that was, it's not that I thought I was going to dislike it. I just thought, well, okay, it was like a convenient thing to review, just to have content for the YouTube channel and the podcast. I was like, it seems like it's got some, like it has geek appeal, So I was like, okay, I better go and, review this and maybe it'll be cool. But I don't remember looking at the trailers and thinking, oh man, that's going to be really funny. And then I was, like you, I was surprised at like how frequently I was laughing in this movie. So yeah, it kind of caught me by surprise. Icon Studios. You're in North Carolina too. Awesome, cool. Where in North Carolina are you guys? Holly, my wife, lived in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for a few years when we were dating. Francisco says, Easter eggs on Paeter's screen. Yeah, go hunting. Go hunting. If you can go back, there's... I'm trying to think of like what you could see. There's nothing in there that would like spoil what it is that I'm actually up to that I'm going to talk about. There's just kind of like a name for it, I think, that was referenced there. But help me keep that under wraps, though. Let's see here. If I found an anime without the sighing and panting, would you like it? I would really be interested in an anime that didn't have the sighing and panting. And for those who don't know what he's talking about, it's like that's probably what my version of it sounds like, where they're going all of these kind of like breathing types of noises that are not words, but I'm trying to think. I think that there's been maybe once in a blue moon there's been an anime, and it's usually a serious one that has been like dubbed with that it doesn't have those things. I think it's been like, I think there was one where like Kiefer Sutherland was doing a voice in it, and I don't remember Kiefer doing any of that. He was probably like, I can't do a Kiefer Sutherland impression. He was probably like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I can just imagine. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, Holly was your neighbor, Galactic Genesis? Let's see here. Mr. Beakhead says Michaela, that's his wife, loved Jumanji. Awesome, cool. Raleigh, okay, yeah. Raleigh, North Carolina, totally. I flew in via Raleigh, usually, when I went to visit her. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to get into my donut if I can here. Yeah, I don't know what it is about these Quick Trip donuts. I like them better than Krispy Kreme, better than Dunkin'. Gundam Thunderbolt, maybe. I think it has a bit less. I haven't seen that one. We have Amazon Prime, and I'm trying to kind of look for alternatives for our boys to watch, other than some of the YouTube channels that they've been watching that are geared toward kids. But there's one that, like, man, it's very materialistic. It's all about just like unboxing toys and buying this family. They're just buying new toys all the time, and like they've done Christmas videos where it's like, the so and so, the name of the kid, so and so's massive Christmas haul, as in like hauling loot, and it's just a lot of just kind of, and I suspect there's a ton of like product placement going on in there. I think it probably started out as kind of like a legit, just kind of like down home family sharing their stuff, sharing their life and the fun stuff they do together, and it's kind of evolved into this really kind of materialistic thing. So, circle back around. That was a weird rabbit trail I just went down. Anyway, Amazon Prime alternatives. They've got the Macross saga. What comes before that? Robotech. They've got a bunch of Robotech on there that I'm thinking of seeing if the boys would be interested in. What they have been interested in is this. What's the one that used to be done with marionettes? Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds series on Amazon Prime. That's interesting. It's all done with CG now, but it's like mimicking the marionette stuff in some ways. But they really were digging on that. But anyway, John Wilkerson suggests Battle Angel Alita had Kiefer Sutherland. Yes, I don't know if that's the one I saw. I think it was Armitage the Third. Was he in Armitage the Third? I think did he do a voice in that? I can't remember. But anyway, the one Mouseketeer, awesome, says congratulations, my dude. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been neat to see the channel grow and people kind of get connected to it, and it's been growing really slowly, but I feel like pretty steadily, which has been very encouraging. And I'm not savvy enough to know like the tricks of the trade to like I suppose I could be doing contests and all these kinds of little gimmicky kinds of incentives to get people connected, and I think there's value in some of those tricks of the trade, but I don't feel like that's my strength, and so I've just been trying to make the content as good as possible for the people that come and check it out, so that hopefully they'll want to stick around and maybe tell somebody else about it. Galactic Genesis says, yeah, I forgot to say congrats. Thank you very much. Rugged Warrior says, next time you're in Southern California, you should check out Frank & Sons. It's a geek swap meet. Is that the one that you were telling me about that you've gone to before? I can't remember if you mentioned that name, but what city is that in? If it's for kids, then better not watch Thunderbolt. Make them watch Astro Boy or Speed Racer. Great anime for kids. I still, as much as I have failed to enjoy, I think, any Wachowski movies, can't say brothers anymore, I guess, any movies by the Wachowskis since the Matrix trilogy, as much as, they've kind of disappointed me. Speed Racer, the live action, I know you're talking about the anime, but the live action one is still kind of on my bucket list, and yeah, maybe I'll check that out sometime with my boys. Macross is a bit too adult, I think. It might be. And even if thematically there's no issues in there, it might just move a little too slow. I watched the pilot and there was a little more talking than I like. It's such an interesting animal because a lot of those will have like thematic content or whatever that is like not for kids, but yet the performance of the voice actors and some of the kind of like the silly comedic stuff that's going on there, it's like, wow, this really looks like it's aimed at kids, but that probably just speaks to cultural differences between here and the East. John Wilkerson says, oh yeah, it's Armitage the Third. Okay, all right. It's been forever since I've seen that one. The One Mouseketeer says, what do you think of the Switch compared to other consoles? I love mine, but there are a few games I wish it would have. I think I would probably be in the same camp as you if I had a Switch. I would probably love it, but there have a few games that I would want for it. Right now, there aren't enough games for the Switch for me to justify even starting to save up for it. I think if I were to get one someday, it would at least, I don't know if, my boys are good at destroying things, so I don't know. I might have to save up separately for their Switch, but we don't have any plans to get a Switch right now, but if I ever got one, Breath of the Wild would probably be the first purchase for me. I would love for them to put all of the DS Castlevania games on the eShop. If they did that, I would start saving up right now for a Switch, because I've been playing through. I really love the Symphony of the Night and all the kind of the spin-offs that went on Nintendo handhelds. And so I bought a Nintendo DS specifically to catch up on those games. And then I bought a Retron 5 in part because you can put Game Boy Advance cartridges in there and play Game Boy Advance games on your TV at home. That was a huge selling point for me, because I'd much rather play video games that way. But now I've progressed through the series, the Castlevania handheld series, so that I'm done with the Game Boy Advance games. And I'm trapped on the little DS screen now with the rest of them until there's some other way to play these games. All right, I gotta catch up on the chat. Missing stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. Are we just going to look at your screen the rest of the... Oh, crap! Sorry, dude! Oh, my gosh! Oh, thank you! No! Where's my thing? Where's... Oh, wait. No, this setting here. Oh, my gosh! My gosh, that was terrible. That was terrible YouTubing, Paeter. Jeez, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. So no, you're not gonna just look at my desktop the rest of the. Dang it. And before it's in the. If you can see, I mean, like, am I a slideshow here, or is there any kind of? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, no, it's still bad. Okay. At least my indicator is saying that frames are getting dropped all over the place, so. Let's see here. So I don't want to... It's a conversation you guys are having. On the Way Over says, oh man, Speed Racer was such a surprisingly good movie. Well, that's good to hear. Okay, that maybe bumps it up on my priority a little bit. Okay, so Rugged Warrior says that Frank and Son swap thing is in San Francisco. Is that what that's a follow-up to? Let's see here... Oh man, you guys are moving fast. Icon Studio says Japanese culture is pretty strange. I would love to visit there though, and gain a further appreciation for it. I think that as long as I could get around, not knowing a word of Japanese, I think I would really enjoy just going there and like just gaining appreciation for the differences, you know. Okay, Galactic Genesis didn't get a Switch because there are not enough games. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I don't know. They're kind of slow to really jump onto, you know, getting the eShop working and doing all that it could potentially do. There's so many great games across multiple consoles from Nintendo's past. I'm wondering if the whole like mini consoles, the classic NES Classic, SNES Classic. I'm wondering. I'm not the first to wonder. I'm just kind of echoing, you know, what a lot of more informed people than I have said. If the release of those things and the surprise success of those things, which just seemed to be a surprise to Nintendo that they sold so well, if that slowed down their movement toward getting those classic games on the eShop for the Switch. Francisco Ruiz says, oh, I forgot to say congrats as well. Thank you very much. Boy, that news with the YouTube partner program thing was interesting timing, because it's like you can't be in the partner program unless you have at least 1,000 subscribers and like a certain amount of like hours watched and stuff. And so I checked on the hours watched and we're good there. I don't really muck around much with the except experimentally now and then with like the putting ads on the videos. I wouldn't want to do that on any kind of regular basis until I really felt like, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of an annoyance. I don't want to, I don't feel like I'm in a place where I want to demand that of my viewers, to have to click to get rid of a dumb ad and or, you know, click to skip an ad or whatever. Maybe other people feel totally different about that and it's not an annoyance to them. I have this gene, it's like this, I think it's on my dad's side of the family, where we really do not like to impose on people. We really do not like to ask for help, or we just don't want to impose on anybody. You know, it's really, yeah. Let's see here. On the Way Over says, Switch has a great concept. That backlog of Nintendo games is like their biggest golden egg. Yeah, yeah, I agree. The screen within a screen within a screen was cool though. Ha ha. Yeah. Let's see here. The One Mousekeeper says, I'm one of the odd ones out that didn't like Breath of the Wild, but I hear what you're saying too. Stay tuned. The selection is supposed to double, and I can't wait for what's coming. That would be great. That would be great. Yeah, still dropped frames. Sorry, John. For those who didn't hear at the beginning, this is the first time I've streamed since we had all the problems with the dropped frames during Extra Life that forced me to eventually shut down the stream, because it just kept, at least now, like, the stream is continuing. It's not like shutting off, you know. But it got really bad during Extra Life, and I had heard in talking to our internet service provider that there were outages that day, so I assumed it would be fine coming back to it today, but now that it's not, I'll probably look into a few other potential causes of this, so I apologize for that, guys. Let's see here. The One Musketeer says, I'm holding out for Rainbow Six and Kingdom Hearts 3 for Switch. Oh, are they putting Rainbow Six, like Rainbow Six Siege, on the Switch? Wow. Rugged Warrior is a big Kingdom Hearts 3 fan as well, Musketeer. Let's see. Francisco Ruiz says, personally, I wouldn't mind watching 5 seconds of an ad if it helps support you, Paeter. Well, thanks so much. I assume there's at least some folks that wouldn't mind that, but it's not you nice folks I'm concerned, would have as much a problem with it. Not that people who'd have a problem with it are not nice folks. Reed Benson says, if you had to start shilling for sponsors, I'd still watch. Yeah, right now, the way I kind of think of, like, as far as, like, doing ads and stuff, I would rather just kind of put ads for Spirit Blade Productions stuff on there, like the audio dramas and whatnot, because I think that can much more directly and quickly and in a bigger way potentially bring financial support to Christian Geek Central by people going over there, because it's the same pool of money that's funding both Spirit Blade Productions and Christian Geek Central. So any of those audio drama purchases or like a gift code purchase or something for somebody else, all that goes into the same pot. And yeah, so let's see here. I'm not organized enough to have like divided up accounts for one for Christian Geek Central, one for Spirit Blade Productions. Let's see here. Rugged Warrior says, I just platinumed Kingdom Hearts today on my stream. Oh, cool. That's intense, dude. Any kind of, like, I mean, man, those... I'm not into the trophy stuff. I can see maybe some of it being appealing. And, well, I shouldn't say I'm not into trophies. There have been some rare instances where, on, like, a Xbox game or something, I've been like on Skyrim, I think it was. I was like, let's go back to this. What haven't I done that there's a trophy for? Let's just go and do that, And even like playing the PlayStation 4 version with mods added for like Fallout 4 and Skyrim, once you put mods in, all trophies are disabled. But I still look at the list and I'm like, because it's just kind of like a little target I can make for myself of like, what's something in this world that I can do that might be interesting to pursue doing, So, Icon Studio says, what do you think about Cuphead? I think I'm definitely not going to play it. It looks so cool, and I don't like games with punishing difficulties. The reason that I play games is for the power fantasy and for exploration of a world. And so since the early days of NES playing the original Super Mario Brothers, I would get so frustrated when I would get to World 8-1 or 8-2, and I would keep dying in the same spot, and then I'd have to go back and repeat all that stuff again. I want to see the whole thing, and I feel like I've talked about this a lot on the live streams that I've edited down and put out in videos, so I'm sorry for repeating myself, but yeah, so games like that where the failing involves going back and having to repeat material, I really, really dislike that kind of experience. Let's see here. John Wilkerson says, people are used to watching ads. Just monetize everything. And there's part of me that's thought about that, because certainly in all the YouTube viewing that I do, I just assume there's going to be an ad, and I'm going to wait 5 seconds and click to pass it up. Um, we'll see. Excuse me. We'll see. Maybe I'll pull that trigger sooner than I think I will, but I don't see myself doing it in the foreseeable future. Let's see here. Mouseketeer says, with the power of God, you probably won't have to shill out. Well, that would be great, especially if doing sponsors, would in any way have a negative impact on the content. I would especially be really cautious about taking on a sponsor in which I do, like, say, what are called baked in, I guess, ads. I've heard people call them that, where instead of it being through the YouTube system, it's something that I'm actually in the content saying, this episode brought to you by Payless, whatever the crap. That kind of thing. Ooh, I don't know if I ever see myself doing that. Even with like a Christian publishing partner or something like that, I would really just want to consider that very carefully. Let's see. On the way over says, yeah, I'll do ads if they help. Do YouTube creators get to control the ads that end up showing? No, not to my knowledge. And that's another thing that I've considered. It's like sometimes ads, well, there's the expression sex sells, and I don't really like the idea. I don't really like the idea of someone accidentally seeing a video that's going to have some, sexy underwear model doing her thing, to sell Victoria's Secret stuff, That said, I would think that they would try to tailor the ads, if they're smart about it, which I think they probably are, would try to tailor the ads to the audience. So I don't know if how much crossover there would be. I don't know. I don't want to rule that out just on that basis, but it is just a moment, something that gives me pause to, think like, okay, well, let me give that some thought, Oh yeah, Rugged Warrior. He says, well, Sony just started a reward program for trophies, so you get like $10 PSN credit every 10 platinums. Oh my gosh. I think that's really cool for people who are already pursuing platinums. That's a really cool thing for that crowd. So for them, I'm happy. That's cool. That's a very kind of consumer friendly, kind of thing. It is not incentive at all for me to get any platinums. Let's see here. Icon Studio says, I assume about Cuphead, that they should have an easy mode. I think they might have something that's easier. I can't remember, but I'm interested in the new Mega Man game that's coming out. The easy mode in that one, because the Mega Man games are something I would love to explore more of because of the world. The world and the different robots you can fight and the different arm attachments and stuff. That's really cool, but I could never beat those games. Even with cheat codes, playing like the original Mega Man games, it was the platforming that ultimately did me in. I'd like jump, miss, get knocked over, and go down to the bottom of this vertical platforming level, and I just lose patience. But in the easy difficulty of the new Mega Man game that's coming, I think it's Mega Man 11, it adds platforms. It adds platforms to levels to make the platforming easier. That's such a cool idea, and so cool of them to take time to do that. So I may actually try out the new Mega Man game that's coming. Let's see here. Oh, they do some. Okay, it's weird. This thing just scrolled on me when I wasn't expecting it to. It was something about. John Wilkerson says on the way over. No, they don't. What were you asking? Okay, yeah. So he was confirming that you can't control the ads. Okay. Galactic Genesis says, I wouldn't mind him having ads to Baha. I'm not cool enough to know what that stands for. I wouldn't mind him having ads. To be honest? Is that what that means? To be honest? Did I win? On the way over, a man or a woman, it's funny with users' names, can't tell, after my own heart, says they need a game genie for the modern world. Like, imagine if you could buy cheat codes to skip ads and videos. I want that. I thought you were going to go a different way with that. I want it in modern consoles. I want them to come back, even if I have to pay like 99 cents for this invincibility code for whatever this game is that you're playing. Yeah, I might pay as much as $10 for an invincibility mode, you know, in a game that I would otherwise not touch, because I'm like, that's going to be frustrating as all get out. Come on. John Wilkerson, oh, sorry to hear that about your channel. We'll see if we can get you back there. Let's see here. Oh, this thing, when I scroll down and then it gets updated, it scrolls out of control. Oh. Oh. I should save this donut for later. It's not helping me. It's not helping me talk right now. All right. Dude, Galactic Genesis, you're playing Mega Man right now. Sweet, dude. Rugged Warrior says, Cuphead has an easy option, but beating the boss doesn't count until beating it in normal mode. Okay. Do you still get to see the ending? That's what I don't like, is, you know, sometimes games will kind of go halfway, but then at the very end, I think it was Justice League Task Force, which I bought, and if you don't play it on, like, normal, if you play it on easy, then when you get to the end, it doesn't show you the ending. It gets to the end and says, now try on a higher difficulty, and you don't get to see the end of the story. Oh my gosh! Super lame. Super lame. That, seeing the end of the story should not be the bonus prize or whatever for doing on a higher level of difficulty. I wish they would have at least warned me at the beginning, if you play it through this way, you're not seeing the ending. Let's see here. The Brave browser blocks ads automatically, but has a payment system that allows viewers to pay creators too, says John Wilkerson. Interesting. You know all the stuff, John. All the stuff. I got it, to be honest. Woo! Thank you, Galactic Genesis. Oh, jeez. Yes, more platforms, says Icon Studios. I've always wanted to explore cool games like Sonic and Mega Man, but it's way too hard. Yeah, yeah. A Life Genie, says Reed Benson. Yes, that would be really nice. Let's see here. I think I'm all caught up now. It won't even let you fight the final boss without playing the whole game in hard mode. Interesting. Interesting. Wow. Yeah, I like the way it looks, though. That's a really cool looking game. Wow, this hour has just flown by. We've got a few minutes left. Any burning questions or topics you guys want to hit before I sign off here? I printed out my +2 page of many topics just in case. I like wondered, is anyone going to show up to this? I always wonder that every stream, and it's always it's just a wonderful feeling of support that I get from you guys whenever you show up to the streams to talk to me, and so yeah. But I had this prepped in case it was going to be me and an empty chat room. Just, okay, so I guess I'll just talk about some stuff until somebody cares. Let's see here. On the way over, says, Sonic is way too hard for me. My friend is so much better at games than I am. I feel ashamed. There is no shame. No shame. It's interesting. It's interesting how easy it is for me to attach my feelings of self-worth to performance, and that has certainly carried over into video games. It's one of the main reasons I think that I don't play harder games. It is like I said before, it's absolutely, I want to explore, I want to see the world, But at the same time, if I'm just hitting something and failing over and over and over again, it sucks. It does not feel good. And so that's a part of me that I am really endeavoring to allow the Holy Spirit to sanctify and just change my perspective, change the way I see my value, the world around me, people around me, and stuff like that. And I've definitely seen some movement in a better direction in the last handful of years. But man, I wish it was much faster movement. Let's see here. Reed Benson says, I just want to say I'm so glad this stream fell on a date and time I was available. Yeah, me too. It was a big gamble. It was just kind of an hour. I was like, that's one of the reasons I was like, oh crap, I don't know if anybody's going to show up. Is this going to work out or whatever? Galactic Genesis says, do you think there could be a good Christian RPG game? I'm thinking about making one that is not lame and terrible. That would be great. I would enjoy playing a Christian video game RPG that is not lame and terrible. I've not actually played any Christian RPG, period. So that would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, what kind of RPG are you thinking of? Are you thinking of making? I bought a little over a year ago. Steam was having a sale, and I bought one of the versions of RPG Maker that's fairly popular and has a lot of resources for it. And I started dinking around, and I thought, I thought about making just a first-person dungeon crawl because I was really into those at the time. Still really enjoying those. They're just hard to come by the precise kind that really scratch my particular itch because I don't like puzzles and stuff like that. I just rather let me go back and forth clearing the dungeon and getting loot and upgrades and doing turn-based combat. Anyway, so yeah. Have you heard of? Oh, what's the? I can't remember the name of it now. I am on the mailing list for, I think it's called Christian Devs, Christian Game Developers. Have you heard of Christian Game Developers, Galactic Genesis? If not, you might want to look them up. They've got an active community of Christian video game developers that are just encouraging each other, and they have meetups. I think there's some kind of thing they'd get together for once a year. But anyway, I don't know if that would be of interest to you, but maybe that'll be a good resource. Francisco says, thank you for all you do, Paeter. Have something I'm doing in a few minutes. So have to go. Man, you stayed for the whole thing. It was just an hour, Francisco. So you came and you were here for the whole thing. You're not missing a thing. I'm about to sign off here. So thank you so much for coming, man. Let's see here. Christian RPG that is not lame and terrible. That's the one you're working on the way over. Oh no, wait, no, wait. Galactic Genesis was working on that's the suggested title, maybe. Oh man. Mr. Beakhead says, I remember Mega Man X was really difficult as a child, but I recently went back and played it to find that it was significantly easier than I remember. All right. Maybe I'll see if I can find a cheap copy of one of those Mega Man games. They don't have time limits. That's a step in the right direction. No time limits. That's the one thing. I'm signing off here, so I don't have time to get on this soapbox. We'll see what happens. I'm, planning on reviewing Monster Hunter. Doing my version of a review, a little dinky trial and error thing. I'll play about the first 5 hours, record myself doing that, and cut it down. So I'm going to start playing that on Monday, renting it from Redbox, and then maybe buying it if I really like it. But I've heard that all the missions are on a time limit, and I've also heard that that's really just to prevent people from beating, on a steel wall that they can't possibly hope to win against. If they're not properly leveled, then it just kind of times out. But actually, 50 minutes is plenty of time to take on any of the monsters in there, provided you have the equipment for it, even if you're not really good at the game. So I hope that's all that's about. But oh man, we'll see. Anyway, let me just read a couple more of these here, and then I'm going to wrap it up. What do you think? Icon Studio says, what do you think of the recent attempts at Christian anime such as Grigori and more? I've never heard of those. I really try to figure out different places to go. Every time there's some kind of new Christian creative thing going on, I try to get on their mailing list so that hopefully, when I do what is supposed to be a monthly YouTube segment of Christian Geek Radar, I can let people know about stuff that's out there. So, Grigori, I've just made a note of that. I will check that out. We did get some Bible Man DVDs. Icon Studios asking, has anyone seen Bible Man? We did get some hand-me-down Bible Man DVDs from some of Holly's siblings, and to give to our boys since their kids are too old now. I did not want to bring Bible Man into the house. Oh man, I was never at the right age for it. I was always too old for it. It's got the dude from Charles in Charge as the hero. He played the idiot sidekick friend on Charles in Charge. And anyway, I'm sure it has had value and been a good thing, but for my tastes and my particular annoyances, I'm like, I don't want that in my house. But we brought him home. We haven't put him in the player yet, but we'll see. Let's see here. Galactic Genesis says, I don't want to keep you here forever. It's fine. I'll leave when I genuinely need to. But I want to make it in a crusade-like era where the main character sees that the killing isn't right. Oh, that would be interesting. Reed Benson says, gotta go cook rice before my wife gets home. Thanks for the stream, Paeter, and congratulations on the 1,000 milestone. Thank you very much, Reed, for coming by and yeah, really appreciate it. John Wilkerson, I have a couple Bible Man VHS tapes. Showed it to my kids. They totally went MST3K on it. Well, that makes a ton of sense. Icon Studio says, Bible Man is the derpiest thing I've ever seen. Well, maybe I should watch it, give it a try for that value. Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for coming out and giving me things to bounce off of and talk about so I wasn't all by my lonesome here for an hour. So really appreciate it, guys. And that's it. Have a good night. And we'll do this again. I don't know when. Yeah. All right. I don't have a clever way to sign off. So bye-bye. Have a good night. Hey guys, Paeter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. For my 5th consecutive year, I'm participating in Extra Life, a charity event that raises funds to provide medical care for children in urgent need. I'm also leading the Christian Geek Central Extra Life team, which you're still welcome to join by following the link in the description below. Once again this year, I'm drawing attention to our team's fundraising by performing a 24-hour marathon of video gaming that I will live stream to youtube.com/Christian Geek Central and christiangeekcentral.com beginning 6 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday, November 3rd. My goal is to raise $200 for my children's hospital. Our total team goal is to raise $700. You can donate on my page or any team members' pages by following the links below. You'll also find some incentives and rewards for donating to some of our team members. On my page, for example, for $5 or more, you can choose a topic to add to my +2 page of many topics that I'll be blabbing my opinions on during my live stream. For $10 or more, you get that previous reward and a download code for a free copy of the Spirit Blade Legacy Edition audio drama. For $20 or more, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a game for me to play during my November 3rd live stream. You can pick a favorite of yours that's in my library or torture me with something terrible or rage-inducingly difficult. For $30 or more, you get the previous rewards and you can choose a song for me to sing during my November 3rd live stream. Pick an old favorite of yours or just make me humiliate and torture myself with something that nobody wants to hear. For $50 or more, you get all those previous rewards and you get a download code for every MP3 product at spiritblade.com. That's a $90 value. Now, on top of all that, I've set fundraising milestones that will unlock crazy events as I reach them in my personal fundraising. When I reach $200, I will have a free download day for everyone who visits spiritblade.com on November 7th this year. And every $50 beyond $200 unlocks more free audio dramas for that free download day. Along with free audio dramas, reaching milestones in my personal fundraising will unlock weird stunts that I will pull during my November 3rd live stream, like turning into a monster, reenacting a moment from a favorite horror movie, or playing intensely embarrassing home videos from my past. Now, there are some stipulations and time limits on those rewards and milestones, so quickly follow the link below to my fundraising page for all of the details. I hope you'll be a part of helping me and the Christian Geek Central team do some good for some kids who really need it. And then please join me at youtube.com/Christian Geek Central for my 24-hour video gaming marathon starting at 6 a.m. Pacific on Saturday, November 3rd. Hope to see you then.